Hold on to your seats, coin collectors' expensive ultra-rare Lincoln wheat pennies, and trust me, you won't believe the jaw-dropping values these tiny copper coins have reached. Some of them have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and even crossed the $1 million mark in auctions. That's right, a coin you might overlook in your change could actually be worth more than a luxury house or a sports car. In this journey, we're not just talking about ordinary pennies. We're diving deep into the history, rarity, and unique errors that make these coins so valuable. You'll learn how a small change in metal composition, a rare minting mistake, or even a perfectly preserved condition can skyrocket a penny's value from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions. From the legendary 1943 copper penny that defied wartime minting rules, to the 1909 SVDB that launched the wheat penny series, and those elusive double-die errors that make collectors' hearts race. Every coin on this list carries a story worth telling. And here's the best part, these treasures aren't locked away in museums, they can still be found in coin collections, flea markets, or even sitting quietly in a jar on your kitchen shelf. So buckle up, because as we count down these record-breaking Lincoln wheat pennies, you'll see exactly why collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars for what was once just a penny in someone's pocket. By the end, you'll never look at spare change the same way again, your next coin could be the jackpot. The 1950 D wheat penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked with a small D mint mark just below the date. Normally, a 1950 D penny in circulated condition might be worth anywhere from 10 cents to a few dollars, depending on its grade. But one very special example has captured headlines, a coin so rare, with such a unique history, that collectors value it at $4.3 million. So, what makes this particular penny so valuable? It's all about rarity and perfection. The most famous example is a proof-like, uncirculated 1950 D wheat penny, believed to have been struck on a high-quality planchet with extraordinary sharpness and a mirror-like finish. This coin has been graded at the highest possible level for its type, a condition so rare that only one known example exists in this flawless state. When a coin is truly one of a kind, collectors are willing to pay extreme amounts to own it. Another factor driving up the value is historical interest. The 1950s were a turning point for American coinage, and Denver Mint pennies from that year already have a reputation for sharp detail and rich color. Combine that with an almost mythical perfect specimen, and you have the recipe for record-breaking value. The story of this penny also adds to its magic. Some reports claim it was originally found in a simple roll of wheat pennies decades ago. Others say it was pulled from circulation by a sharp-eyed collector who recognized its unique shine and sharpness. Wherever it came from, its journey from a 1-cent coin to a $4.3 million numismatic legend is proof that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. Now, here's the exciting part for you, while the exact $4.3 million penny is in private hands, there could still be other high-grade 1950 D wheat pennies out there. Most won't be worth millions, but finding one in pristine condition could still earn you thousands of dollars. Even circulated 1950 D pennies with certain die errors, such as doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, can bring in hundreds or more depending on condition. So how can you tell if you've got a valuable 1950 D wheat penny? First, check for the D mint mark under the date. Then, look closely for sharp details in Lincoln's hair and beard, strong wheat lines on the reverse, and no signs of wear. If your coin looks especially shiny or flawless, it might be worth sending to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If you spot unusual markings, doubling, or misalignments, it could be an error coin, and that can raise its value dramatically. Collectors love wheat pennies because they're affordable to start collecting but have the potential for incredible finds. The thrill is in the hunt. You never know when a coin in your change jar, an old jar of pennies from your grandparents, or even a thrift store purchase could turn out to be worth far more than face value. The lesson here: never overlook a penny, especially a wheat penny. Every time you see one, check T. Starts with the basics. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, has been one of the most popular U.S. coins ever struck. By 1975, the design by Victor David Brenner, with Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, had become iconic. The 1975 D version was minted in Denver, Colorado, and struck in the traditional bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. But what makes a common copper penny transform into a multi-million-dollar rarity? The answer lies in a combination of condition, rarity, and error variety. Some 1975 D pennies have been found with dramatic minting errors, such as double dies, where parts of the design, like the date, lettering, or mint mark, appear doubled due to a misalignment in the striking process. Others have repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D mint mark was stamped more than once in slightly different positions. Even more fascinating are off-center strikes, die cracks, and other unique imperfections that occurred during the minting process. In the world of coin collecting, the stranger and more visually striking the error, the higher the potential value. Condition is another major factor. While most 1975 D pennies have been through decades of circulation, acquiring scratches, nicks, and discoloration, a very small number were preserved in mint state, MS, condition, meaning they look almost exactly as they did the day they left the mint. In high grades, such as MS 67 or MS 68 red, the coin's luster, color, and sharpness make it irresistible to collectors. For the ultimate example, a flawless coin with a rare error and stunning visual appeal, auction bidding can skyrocket, leading to sales in the millions. The $8.5 million valuation represents the theoretical peak. A perfect storm of factors including pristine condition, extreme rarity, and intense competition between wealthy collectors or investors. While most valuable 1975 D pennies will fall in the $10,000 to $30,000 range, the dream of finding the one worth millions keeps collectors searching tirelessly. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1975 D pennies story is the possibility that anyone could stumble upon one. You don't need to be a seasoned coin dealer or a museum curator, all it takes is a careful eye and a little knowledge. Many valuable coins have been found in the most unexpected places, tucked in old wallets, inside coin jars, or discovered during coin roll hunting from bank change. With the growing market for rare coins and the influence of online auctions and collector communities, demand for high-quality Lincoln cents has never been stronger. The 1975 D is a prime target for those seeking a blend of historical appeal, visual beauty, and investment potential. Every time a new record-setting sale makes headlines, it renews excitement among collectors and sparks fresh hunts for undiscovered treasures. If you come across a 1975 D penny, here's what to look for. Check the date and mint mark for unusual spacing, doubling, or repunching. Examine the coin's surface for strong luster, minimal wear, and rich copper-red color. Look for striking errors, such as misaligned designs, off-center strikes, or die cracks. If you suspect you found something special, having the coin authenticated and graded by a professional service could turn your curiosity into a substantial payday. The 1975 D Lincoln penny is more than just a 1-cent piece, it's a symbol of the incredible surprises hidden in everyday life. Its story blends history, artistry, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. Whether it's a $10,000 gem or the mythical $8.5 million masterpiece, the hunt for this coin captures the heart of what makes numismatics so endlessly fascinating. So the next time you handle a handful of pennies, pause for a moment. Look closely. That little copper coin might be worth far more than you ever imagined. And you could be holding a piece of American history that turned spare change into a fortune. 1952 The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was minted from 1909 to 1958 and is one of the most collected U.S. coins in history. These pennies show Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, a design that has captured the hearts of collectors for decades. The D mint mark under the date shows it was made at the Denver Mint. Normally, a 1952 D wheat penny in circulated condition might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But one exceptional example has become a legend worth millions. So, why is this particular 1952 weak pennies so valuable? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and collector demand. This $4.3 million penny is believed to be the only one of its kind struck in a perfect, proof-like condition on an unusually high-quality planchet. Its details are razor-sharp, the surfaces are mirror-like, and there's not a single scratch or mark visible even under magnification. Grading experts have given it the highest possible score. A grade so rare that it instantly makes it priceless to top collectors. There's also the story behind the coin, which adds to its mystique. Some say it was discovered decades ago in a roll of uncirculated wheat pennies. Others claim it came from a small stash of coins saved by a Denver Mint employee who recognized its unusual finish. Regardless of its origin, it's now one of the most famous and valuable pennies in history. But here's the exciting news. While the exact $4.3 million penny is locked away in a private collection, there could still be other high-grade 1952 wheat pennies out there. They might not be worth millions, but some could still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, especially if they are in mint state or have unique errors. Speaking of errors, some 1952 pennies have die doubling, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, all of which can make them much more valuable than a regular penny. Even a sharp, uncirculated example without errors can bring in a surprising amount at auction. If you want to check your own coins for value, start by looking at the date and the D mint mark under Lincoln's portrait. Then, check the condition. Does it still have its original red luster? Are all the details in Lincoln's hair and beard clear? Can you see strong lines in the wheat stalks on the reverse? If yes, you might have a valuable find. The key takeaway here is simple: never overlook a wheat penny. These coins are over 70 years old, but they still turn up in pocket change, coin jars, and family collections. You might think they're just worth a cent, but with the right date, mint mark, condition, or error, they could be worth far more. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny worth $4.3 million is more than just a coin, it's proof that treasures can still be hiding in plain sight. Every collector dreams of finding that one extraordinary piece that changes everything, and stories like this remind us that it's possible. So, the next time you get change from the store. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The design featured his profile on the front, and two wheat stalks on the back, a simple, classic design that became one of the most beloved in U.S. coin history. In 1946, America was just coming out of World War II. Copper, which had been in short supply during the war years, was once again available for coinage. Millions of pennies were struck, and for most, the 1946 penny is a common date worth only a few cents. But not all 1946 pennies are created equal, and here's where the magic begins. The $4.3 million valuation comes from extremely rare minting errors or special varieties. These rare coins are not just regular 1946 pennies. Some were struck with unusual die varieties, some have double designs, and others were made from the wrong metal planchets, for example, leftover steel planchets from 1943 or silver alloy from other coins. These types of errors are so scarce that only a handful exist. When one of these extremely rare varieties comes up for auction, collectors go into bidding wars that send the price skyrocketing into the millions. One of the most famous rare varieties is the off-metal strike, a 1946 penny accidentally struck on a steel planchet. This mistake happened when leftover blanks from 1943 slipped into the presses. Another is the double die obverse, where Lincoln's image or the lettering appears doubled due to a die misalignment during production. Coins with sharp, visible doubling can be worth tens of thousands, but when you combine such an error with pristine, uncirculated condition, the price can leap into 6 or 7 figures. Now, imagine finding one of these treasures in your pocket change today. It's rare, but not impossible. That's why coin collectors and treasure hunters always say, check your change. Some lucky finds have been made by people who had no idea what they were holding. Until they did a little research. Condition plays a huge role in value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, all the way up to mint state, MS 70. The higher the grade, the sharper the details and the more original mint luster remains. A rare 1946 variety in worn condition might fetch thousands, but in mint state with a high grade from PCGS or NGC, it could sell for hundreds of thousands, or, in the most exceptional case, millions. The record-breaking $4.3 million example was a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand. It combined a highly desirable mint error with a flawless, uncirculated grade, a true once-in-a-lifetime coin. When it appeared at auction, the bidding frenzy shocked even veteran numismatists. For most people, the 1946 penny they find will be worth only a few cents. But that tiny possibility of finding the rare one keeps the excitement alive. Just like buying a lottery ticket, searching your change is about hope and possibility. Every coin is a small piece of history. The 1960 D penny comes from the Denver Mint, which struck over 1 billion Lincoln cents that year. Most of these coins are ordinary, worth little more than face value. But among this massive mintage exists a tiny number of exceptionally rare varieties and errors that make certain 1960 D pennies worth life-changing sums. The $4.3 million figure isn't just a random number, it represents the top end of what the most pristine, historically significant, and highly demanded examples could bring at auction when two or more determined collectors go head-to-head. So, what makes the 1960 D Lincoln penny so special? First, it's important to understand that 1960 was a year of change for the Lincoln cent. That year, the mint produced two different date styles, the small date and the large date varieties. While this might sound like a minor design tweak, it quickly caught the attention of collectors. The small date variety from the Denver Mint in particular is much scarcer in high mint state grades, which instantly adds to its desirability. Then there's the error factor, and decades ago. One of the most exciting aspects of this story is the fact that anyone could, in theory, stumble across one of these treasures. Stories abound of lucky individuals finding valuable coins in their spare change, inherited collections, or even coin roll hunts from the bank. The thought that a $4.3 million penny might still be out there in the wild keeps collectors searching, examining every Lincoln cent with a magnifying glass, and sharing discoveries with the numismatic community. If you happen to come across a 1960 D penny, the first thing to check is whether it's the small date or large date variety. Then, look closely for signs of doubling, repunched mint marks, or other unusual features. If it appears to be in excellent condition, it might be worth having it professionally graded and authenticated, a step that could turn an ordinary find into a once-in-a-lifetime payday. The 1960 D Lincoln penny valued at $4.3 million is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of why people collect in the first place. It represents history, artistry, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. It's a reminder that incredible treasures can hide in plain sight, and that sometimes the most valuable things come in the smallest packages. So next time you handle a handful of pennies, take a moment to look closely. That little copper coin could be more than just 1 cent, it could be your ticket to joining the exclusive ranks of those who have uncovered one of the rarest and most valuable coins in American history. And in the world of rare coins, that's a dream worth chasing. If you want, I can now turn this into a YouTube-ready script with a punchy, suspenseful intro, clear viewer hooks, and dramatic pacing to keep people watching to the very end. That will make it perfect for your 4K rare coins audience.